on Underwatch now, firing on all cylinders. There was potential for Yeet to come back in on the end with J7 trying to be a bit smart, go for the touch on the point to force Underwatch back. But that's the difference we saw there between Underwatch and Staffordshire. Underwatch, same story as in the losers final, just so much more cohesive. Everyone's on the same page. They aren't making those same mistakes that we saw from Loughborough and that we're now seeing from Staffordshire. They're all mentally together effectively. The synergy is there. The landing these combos, utilizing these combos so effectively, great communications too, and it's hard to break a chink in that armor.
Yeah, it really is. It's tough to move on through, especially when you do see Underwatch. They've got so much control over the space at the moment. I think a lot of it comes down to Jimbo and Derv 2000, because one thing I have absolutely noticed is that Jimbo will happily step in front of Derv 2000, take some damage, drop the self barrier, and then move on back. And this just gives a lot of space, a lot of time for Derv 2000 to basically effectively use his positioning to his advantage.
Absolutely. It's one of the differences I've noticed as well. Jimbo is much more grouped up with the rest of the team, where Jealous tries to go for the off angle on the side. And while that does mean that Jealous can get a little bit more charge, and Durf is slower to get his Earth Shadows up because he's not springing into the whole team, it means that Jimbo's in a better position. Durf now going to get aggressive, does get shield bashed, but they punish Pulse.
Yeah, Pulse moved a little bit far too forward there, and he is punished for it, just like you say, removed from the fight. And without the Brigida, they know they have to back off.
Yeah, Jealous though, give him credit, already halfway to the Graviton, able to get in so much early damage, and that can be a decisive factor towards the tail end of this fight. Jimbo not quite there. If you can keep this going, get a nice surprise early Graviton, catch Underwatch off guard.
Jealous moving up towards his Graviton, but so far Jimbo is following suit. Pulse does find Basudo, who is in an awkward position there, so now it'll be 5v6. You can see the rest of Staffordshire moving forward. Only 1 minute here. They will back off, give him a tick for the time being, waiting for that Brigida to get back in the action. But Mia, he's trapped inside the hotel, probably going to go down here. Maybe didn't expect that from his team, and it looks like they will take all 3 ticks now. They just want to stay in position to York on this corner right now to punish this very tough choke.
And a rare mistake from Underwatch. I talk so much about him being so coherent, but they leave Mia out to dry in the hotel, unfortunately. And it's a great punish from Staffordshire to eventually secure out the point. So credit where credit's due. Starting to get a lot of these ultimates online now. In particular, look for Jealous with this Graviton. Needs to be a little bit more careful and cautious with it so far than he has been previously. Don't let Wallaby go for the cheeky yeet.
No, we have seen it so many times, so Jealous has got to be cautious, right? The rally comes out. There is one player pushing the payload for the time being, so they back off around the first corner. This is going to give an opportunity for Jealous to throw in this Graviton should he want to, whilst LOS is in effect.
Yeah, and backing up here means that Underwatch have to invest resources just to close the distance.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, cannot get the charge onto Pulse. Callum reads Derf 2000 perfectly, knowing that he wants to take the Brigida out of the equation. 2 Gravitons are enabled, 2 self-destructs are there. It's an absolute light show, ladies and gentlemen. No kills invested from either side, but the Earth Shadow is good, and he will be the one finding Basudo. Callum played absolutely exceptionally during that entire fight there. The read after read, the entirety of it, Underwatch was a buck before him.
Yeah, just a little bit more patience from Underwatch, saving that Earth Shadow towards the end, rather than trying to initiate it early on than Turf did. It absolutely butchered the ultimate economies on both sides. It was like a light show, as you described. Just fireworks on both sides. Slight advantage now for Underwatch with this sound barrier, but there's not an awful lot to work with on either side.
Not really, so we're just basically trying to get some more ultimates. Callum, you can see him moving forward quite aggressively. He is forced into Meg. I'm not sure why he's in there at all. Earthshare is invested, will find J7 on the side, but that's about it. Now, it will be Staffordshire with the better economy.
A little bit of over-aggression from Callum there, unfortunately, trying to farm out the Earthshot, as you were saying, just unfortunately out of range. The good caveat, though, is that Durf invested the Earth Shadow to follow up there, so he's suddenly ahead again in the Earth Shadow race. Kind of where he wanted to be, but not the outcome he actually wanted.
Jealous constantly high charge, though, Vals. It's very much a high threat for them a lot of the time, and 4 minutes 36 on the clock. They have a lot of time to push this one through. There is no self-destructor combo with this Graviton. They're going to be very careful. Wallaby constantly, you can see him holding the Diva Matrix up to Jealous at the moment.
Yep, it's just positioning all right now, both of them waiting for cooldowns to come back online. The rally's going to pop now, and they're going to be able to punish Eevee, but they can't quite follow up.
Wallaby, his mech does go down, but another Earth Shadow once again. The counter grab is there, so really well played from Jimbo to keep the majority of his team alive, but Derf 2000 going down is absolutely catastrophic for this team. Callum is into the back now. Camwe tries to get him out the way, but so many members are split off, and Zufus is just absolutely destroying them.
Yep, the Graviton is invested, doesn't really find too much value. Yeet now pushing forward. They're going to have the soundbite for Kamui to try and invest with it, and they're going to throw down the self-destruct too.
2000 moving his way up. Callum gets the nice counter charge, laying him bare to that Zarya laser. Camwe moves off from the side. There's a Graviton coming in. So far, it looks like Stavager are making the bold claim to this point. Wallaby goes up in the sky. He will be dropped down, and 3 minutes 29 is an amazing time back.
And any question we had about Staffordshire after losing Busan, it's just been answered. Coming straight back into it, playing like we know they can play. Maybe kicking themselves a little bit for dropping Busan when they can play goes this effectively against York. Might come back to bite them eventually if they keep making those mistakes. But for now, great offense through the streets of Kings Row. 3.5 minutes left on the time break. It can't be overstated just how huge that is.
Yeah, completely like you say, Vals, there. Any questions we did have that being completely dispelled right now. Staffordshire really kicking up a storm. It will be Basudo on the Brigida, as per usual. And I think both these teams are just taking it much more seriously and aren't jealous. I mean, you were talking about the beginning here, Vals, that he wasn't playing with his team, but you see him much more rooted with his Reinhardt now.
Yeah, absolutely. Callum, unfortunately, had a couple moments there where we overextended a little bit, got punished, especially right at the start there when they tried to push on to the third phase initially, completely out of sync with his team. But overall, I do like the more cohesive playstyle we're seeing from Yeet on Kings Row so far. Not going for those individual plays, not going for the cheeky Graviton flank or the huge Earth Shadow up front, playing a little bit more grouped up. And while, yes, Derf can get a little bit more cleave damage in against all those meaty targets, get his Earth Shadow up a little bit quicker, overall, it's playing well for Staffordshire. They're able to save each other a little bit better. Jealous in particular, able to protect Callum, and it's paying off.
I think something you said there is absolutely so important, is the fact that Derf 2000 is so aggressive, and it just seems to me that Callum should have been a little more patient with his Earth Shadows.
Absolutely. It's going to be Underwatch on the offense now, rotating around, trying to get a couple picks. Mia and Zephyr's both already getting a couple nice clicks in, building up that Transcendence percentage.
Move on forward now. Busutto goes for the shield bash. The projected barrier is in the way. Derf 2000 very aggressive in the front line, goes quite low, but it's Callum also taking the brunt of the damage. Has to move around the side. The tick almost already accrued for Underwatch so far. Callum just playing around this corner. No, he has to wait for his shield to come back online. They have to touch soon. First tick is there already, but Jealous, so high charge. But Jimbo, much of the same. Zuffa begins the fight. A nice kill onto Basudo, and he can use this Transcendence aggressively, knowing that Jimbo only 75%, potentially can get another one, and J7, he will be looking pretty with that sound barrier coming to the next fight.
Yeah, Jealous overextends and falls at the end, and it was actually a nice play by him in the middle of the fight to flush Mia out of the hotel where we was putting so much spam damage on the Zenyatta. Was part of why we had to see the sudden retreat from Underwatch, but now, because of the pick on Jealous, they've got a second tick.
We will see a recontest, though. They were waiting for Jealous to get back into the fight. He will have that Graviton available. Pulse is staying alive for as long as possible. One of those is the Derf 2000 Classic. Self-destruct is enabled, but there's no one there to drop the shield. But he does find one in the process, and Jimbo, such a crucial pick. That's a lot of damage removed, and Zuffers already playing up, finding that kill onto Derf 2000. Wallaby has to invest his self-destruct now. Eevee absolutely cannot stop it. Pulse comes in clutch with that shield, but it's so low right now. Staffordshire still remaining on the point. Eevee desperately trying to get back in the mech. So far, he's at 75%, so we'll come back soon. Mia on the side, taking a few shots, will not die, but Basudo, he's the one to fall here. And 2 minutes 10. Things are starting to look rough for Underwatch, but they did find 2 ticks in that previous fight.
Yeah, Wallaby maybe a little over-ambitious with the use of the self-destruct there. Would have wanted to save it here to combo with Jimbo's Graviton. But speaking of Gravitons, nice aggressive from Jealous, nice decisive team fight. Whittle down the time bank even further, under 2 minutes now as Underwatch is sent right back into spawn.
They saw an opportunity, they took it, and you saw that Underwatch were just staying around the side there, playing a little bit too aggressive for Jealous's liking. So sure, he just goes for the Graviton and stalls him out for another 20 seconds. So we're coming into this next fight. It'll be all down to Callum and Pulse. Pulse has got to find this shield bash here onto Derf 2000 as he moves on in. You do see him in the background, doesn't want to go as of yet. J7's going to unleash the trigger, but they don't even need it. Just good old clean Overwatch. Callum, he sees the opportunity, drops down the Earth Shutter, but Pseudo in a bad position. Wallaby gets demaxed, and of course, they are going to stagger him out for as long as possible here.
And the positioning from Pulse during that fight, you were highlighting maybe looking for the shield bash. Instead, he was kind of sat in the back line with Xenophus and J7, anticipating that your Underwatch would be playing that a little bit more aggressively than they actually did. Unfortunately, Underwatch just waiting around, playing a bit too passive, opens it right up for Callum to seize the Earth Shatter. Couple ultimates online now for Underwatch. They're going to have the Earth Shatter, going to have the Graviton and the Transcendence, but they need to make something happen.
Yeah, and if anything can work now, it is this fight. There is so many things online for them. Callum's been playing really, really well so far. He runs into the hotel, so there is no shield. An aggressive Transcendence from Mia will keep him in this fight. Graviton's invested, doesn't really find anything. Now Jealous responds of his own. There is the self-destruct. No one is there available. Callum finds Pseudo, but Derf 2000 finds Pulse. So both Brigida's down. Derf 2000 unleashes the Earth Shadow. There's hardly anyone there to follow up. 20 seconds. This is potentially the last fight here. A really disgusting stagger on the Jimbo. There is a lot available. Callum once again has this Earth Shatter. They're going to desperately try get back the point, try and touch it, but it's going to be staggered out. Not all members will be there at the same time. What a shatter!
Huge Earth Shatter right at the gates. Not even a chance for Underwatch to touch the point. Derf is going to charge through but get shut down, and that's going to be a decisive hold here from Yeet. We doubted them after Busan. We're not doubting them anymore.
You see Callum there raising the hammer to the air, and sure he should do. Callum's played so well, and any mistakes that he had been making on Busan are completely ironed out now. The guy has been playing in such a good way, and I've touted Derf 2000 before, but at the moment he's just putting him to shame.
Absolutely. Heat have made the adjustment. They know Derf likes to have this balance of passive and aggressive. They punish the aggressive by shutting him down before he can even move in, and they punish the